Libanonska rediteljka, montažerka, dokumentaristica govori o Bejrutu, ratu, filmu, domovini.
My name is Sabine El Chamaa, and I'm a filmmaker. I think it depends on what happened in your place of birth. For example, if you have lived through a war, it's probably, if not the place of birth, then the war that influences you. And so you carry this with you wherever you go. And for me, I think that war started in 1976. I was born in 1971. So I lived through that for about, until age 21 or so. So that's a long period of my life, and that I carried with me for sure. If it is Lebanon or if it is the war, I don't know. I cannot differentiate, because for me they're almost one and the same. An artist does have a nationality, for sure, but even when I'm at home, I look at it with different eyes after I travel. So it means that I'm always taking, wherever I go, I take a little bit, wherever I go, I take a little bit, and I hope that I give as well. In Lebanon, even though one may think that the opposite, because the stereotype seems to dictate that, there are many women artists, and there are many women female filmmakers, and women are very active in Lebanon for many reasons. First, there are more women than men in the society for reasons of war, excuse me, men travel more, etc. And so women are really a workforce, and they are very present. So when I go home, I feel like, I don't feel like it's a man's world in that sense. I'm working on a documentary called Heroes and Borders, and the idea or the thought that I had was to come and see how the perception of people of what a hero is keeps changing, and how a hero of one time can become a villain of another time very soon, and also of the shifting borders. And the reason why I came to that is, first of all, we have similarities in Lebanon, where also different people hail different people as heroes. So one person's hero is another people's villain, and that concept always intrigues me, especially in a place where it's very tight, it's very small. So it's not like between the US and Lebanon. It's really within one country, or within one almost from district to another. And so that I was curious about this, and I think that I came here because it's always easier to go abroad than to face these things at home. It's a little bit more painful to step by step. I'm doing the same at home, but yeah, I'm sort of taking the long way, learning from another country first. There are definitely many parallels, but there are huge differences as well. Let's say that, no, I don't come here and say, wow, it's like home. One of the differences definitely between here and Lebanon that I felt is the way that memory is treated. And here there is a bigger responsibility, or a bigger move towards definitely making sure that things are not forgotten. And for us, it was the other way around that people went. It was sort of an amnesia, and it was a long, like a sustained long wars, many wars. And so I think it takes a lot of time to get back on track, but also we don't have the chance yet, I think. Being part of the Middle East, and you look at the Middle East now, and you look at what's happening. Only a couple of days ago there was another car bomb in Lebanon. So people want to, but the chance is not yet there. The desire is definitely there. Really, after 9/11, I've had many bad incidents, with friends, with personal experiences. That I really felt the shift in airports, where I'm asked questions that really are completely nonsensical. It did not used to happen as much before. And so I think that stereotypes, they were there already, but they're even more imprinted in it, and it's a strange thing, and it feels like, almost like intolerance is winner at this point. I went to film school in the US, and I came into editing because I don't know, it just seemed like I had a feeling for it, a talent for it. And so I started editing friends' films, and my own, and so on. And then that's how I became professional. And to me, editing is where a film is made. I mean, of course, every stage is very important, but the final sculpture is really in the editing room. And that's where I think a director, you learn most, basically, to me, about what is essential in a story, what is not essential, what is important, what is not important, and so on. And so it's something I like a lot. But it is not what I wanted to do, really. It's not like my aim is not to become a professional editor, was not. And I was on the way to becoming that, and I stopped short because I felt like I was, I kept saying, no, I'm just a director who knows how to edit. So I basically stopped and started focusing on my own projects. Now, my own projects are, I would divide into both fiction as well as documentary. I also take pictures on the side. So to develop, I have this, I'm in love with the visual aspect of things also, and always attempting to find the most economical way of telling something very simply. And I think a photo tells that. In editing also you try to do that. Fiction, I have many stories in my head that I want to tell. And so I started, and basically it was after 9/11 that I did a short film in Lebanon. It was the first short film I do in Lebanon. And it was to see, I realized, you see, now I go back to your other question, because I realized that all the films I made in the US were silent and had no space. So basically I was setting them in such a way that I had control. They could be anywhere, and probably in Lebanon in my head. I realized that actually I need to, if not to do all my films at home, but definitely to start from home. To me there is no difference. I'm always learning, and always, if I don't know about the world, what stories am I going to tell? My own imagination is not, that great. Basically, the world is great. Anything, even that attempts to be commercial, becomes alternative, because first we don't have the means. And so, sometimes people, yes, do attempt to make something to the mainstream, and unfortunately in the languages of other countries, just being from the third world makes you, alternative. It's almost as though our own expressions, become something special.